Walk up in this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him, on God. Walking this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, bitch, I'm really him, on God.
It takes balls to sack a quarterback. It takes Sax underwear to support your balls. I've teamed up with Sax as their newest ambassador to bring you game-changing underwear. Sax underwear is versatile and comfortable. I wear it to train, hang out, and even sleep. They've got a pair for everything, and it allows me to be limitless every day. Use my code, TheRush24, for 15% off at Sax.com. Sax underwear with the ballpark pouch changes the game. Period. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Rush. It is your boy, Maxx Crosby. We're in the building. I got my brothers with me, Brogan Rollback, Darian Terrell, Zen Watered Up. Shout out Zen Water. Shout out the whole team over there. It's great people. How we doing, boys? We're back. We're back in business. Shout out to everyone who tuned in last week. I mean, you guys have been tuning in more and more, and we highly appreciate it. We're just going to keep giving the real and keep it 1,000 at all times. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. So we're back. What do we got to talk about, boys? We got a lot of content, a lot of things going on. I mean, where do we start? Where do we start?
That's the beauty of recording on a Monday is all the shit seems to drop right before we want to press record on these computers.
Yeah.
A lot of things to talk about. But before we talk about the good shit, let's talk about you. How are you feeling? Where are we at with your recovery? Talk to us. This is a weekly update that people want to know because we have it. We got to give them a little insight.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm doing incredible. Rehab, going A+, weight room, getting to it.
You back?
Feeling incredible. Oh, yeah. I've been back. I've been back.
Are we getting mass this year? What's the goal here?
Come on now,
Getting
bro.
powerful?
Come on, bro. Getting strong. Stronger, longer, meaner, and leaner. We're getting twitchier, swifter.
Okay.
Across the board. A+. But, yeah, we're doing incredible. Everything's been going great. Dialed in like no other. Yeah, foot's feeling a lot better. I'm starting to walk in the hydro works, starting to bounce a little bit. I'm able to lift, do some lean and put some weight on my foot. So everything's going really well. So yeah, things are A+ over here for sure.
It's weird, right? You almost have to learn how to rewalk and shit all over again. It makes you appreciate it.
Bro, hell yeah. What? It's the simple shit. Like just getting up to take a piss. Like I would have to get on a scooter. It was a full a headache to go across the house every single time. It's just like the little shit you don't realize until you get a major surgery and can't walk. I mean, that's not fun, but we're making it through the storm, and we're starting to see some sunlight over here. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So we're going in the right direction. Everything's been smooth as a whistle. I got X-ray tomorrow. Just kind of get an update, see how everything's healing and going. So looking forward to that. But yeah, I mean, you have zero complaints. Everything's been great.
How much longer you got in the boot?
So I got 2 more weeks in the boot. I have to do 8 total, so a little over 8 total. But yeah, it's going incredible. So I don't have to wear the boot all the time. Like when I'm resting and chilling, and when I'm sleeping, I don't have to wear the boot, which is awesome. But yeah, I'm ready to get the fuck out of this boot, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a whole. I mean, you have to willy the thing together, make sure everything's locked in, blow the air into it. I'm like, I got to do this just to go up and take a piss. So I still got my scooter just so I get up and roll across the house real quick and piss and go back, so I don't have to do it every time. But besides that, I mean, it's great. I'm moving and grooving.
Hell yeah.
I know you were talking about adding a lot of different things and taking some things out of your routine. How's that stuff going? I know it's difficult now. You got the whole foot surgery, but trying new routines and trying something in the off season is always kind of like a first day of school vibes, right? You're kind of into it now. How are you feeling about it all?
No, it's been awesome. We're definitely implementing some more things post workout. The grip, you guys know how I am about my grip. We have a full-fledged system and routine that we do after every workout. Darian, relax. And we do that. We've been doing that for years now, but we're adding some little sprinkles here and there. We've taken out some little things here and there. Just trying to be, fine tune everything across the board. So that's something, after the season, after we had our whiteboard meeting, we sat down, Tim and Rick and all of us, we talked about taking that next step and what we need to delete, what we need to add, just to be as efficient and effective as possible. So yeah, I'm doing really well as far as meal prep, little changes here and there and that as well, just fine tuning 1% and, in that area as well. So I'm doing incredible and I feel incredible for sure.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I mean, grip, he mentioned the grip to you. That got both of us fired up. But a guy who seems to be losing his grip a little bit in the octagon this weekend, I know you watch, Izzy. Izzy went down when it looked like he was honestly putting on a masterclass for the most part once again. I hate seeing legends go down like that. It sucks. Is Izzy's time as the champion, is that window officially closed? Is he just going to fight, big $1 million fights now? Like, what do you think? What do you envision for him?
I think that's the hardest thing in fighting, bro. Like, once you get, if you peak at such a high level, and then once you get clipped or you get beat or knocked off that pedestal, I feel like the fall is fast and rapid. Yeah. And it's kind of what we're seeing right now with Izzy. I mean, there's those special guys that never really fall off, like the John Jones of the world. There's a few names you can name, but you look at it, I mean, typically towards the end, you look at Chuck Liddell, you look at Anderson Silva, these are some of the greats. Even Mike Tyson, one of the greatest boxers ever, his fall to grace was fast and rapid, you know what I mean? So yeah, I do believe, I hate to say it, but I think Izzy's, kind of on that downhill trajectory. I mean, he's lost a few in a row.
He's 35.
He's 35. He's not getting younger. 20. Yeah, he's not getting younger. 35 isn't super old for fighting, but he's heading towards 40. You know what I mean? And he's not going to be fighting 3 times a year anymore. So yeah, if I were Izzy, if you still feel like you can go, which you can see it, he's still elite. You gotta. In my opinion, I would just try to take the biggest fights as possible from now on. Listen, put me in there with Yuri or something like that, some crazy, just super fights. You know what I mean? Go get paid right off in the sunset. But we'll see. We'll see.
Now, it's crazy, too. I didn't realize that was his first fight that wasn't a championship fight in 6 years. So yeah, he's been a champion forever. And like you said, the downfall is so quick. But people forget how long of a champion that Izzy was. And he fought 3 times a year. He's active as shit. So I'm hoping he's back. Yeah. I'm hoping he's back and take some heads along the way. Pause, D. And, I'm looking forward to it. But this weekend, your boy, Sean Strickland, UFC 312, fighting Dricus Duplessis number 2. I got to know, even though I kind of feel like I know who you're rolling with. Who you rolling with? Oh, no.
What? I saw a video yesterday. Sean was smacking the pads. He looks slick. He looks thin. He looks ready to go, and he looks focused. And hearing, being with, I was on the Versus pod last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and got to sit with his coach and chop it up and ask him some questions. And from what I've heard and what, Brad Tavares, who trains with him and part of that team, they said he looks great. And you could tell just physically, he's in great shape. He's been locked in. And I know that dude is motivated, bro. Last fight, it literally, it was like a pick 'em. I mean, it could have gone either way. It was a super close fight. I think they gave Dricus the win just purely off optics. I think at the end, he just kind of went to it. It looked like he was doing more, you know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of swayed the refs. And you can't, if you're trying to take a belt, you got to take that motherfucker. You know what I mean? Fighting is different. You got to go out there and take it. And that's what, when you talk about boxing, it's the same shit. Unless you have a convincing ass win or you knock him out, you're probably not going to get the belt. So for Sean, I know that's in the back of his head. He doesn't have to press and do some out of body type crazy shit, but he needs to go in there and apply the pressure like we've all seen him before. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm a huge Strickland fan. That's my guy. As crazy as that dude is, he's a real one. He means well. He might be have a few screws loose, but don't we all? And I love that dude. I'm excited to watch him fight, bro. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it has been a minute because speaking of activity, normally he is active as and obviously you could say he fights actually 365 days a year because he spars in legit brawls like no one else in the UFC, and it's obviously well documented. I saw that he shaved his head completely bald. I watched the first embedded today, so that alone is making me go Strickland. And here's my second point for you boys. Hopefully this pops up so we can see you after the first fight. Look at Dreykus' face.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to, I should pull up another picture of Strickland's face, but I'm not going to. There was nothing on it. So
nothing.
I think he got screwed, and I think we all know that. I think he just got it because, like you said, Max, it was a close fight, and they're going to give it to the champ. If you don't steal the belt away, which I actually do like that. It's not a rule necessarily in the UFC, but it's just kind of one of those things everyone understands. I think you got to go earn it and rip it away from the guy who is the champ. So I think Sean can do it. That's where I'm riding.
Hell yeah! I thought Sean was the champ when he won, though, right? Or I think Sean beat Izzy, got the belt, right, and then Dreykus took it.
Maybe you are right.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it just watching the fight and seeing it over, like it was so close. Obviously, Sean outstruck him, but just when I say optics, like he was pushing the tempo the whole time. It's not that he was landing a ton or whatever, but he was trying to get Sean out of there. And I think that kind of swayed the refs in that direction, giving him the belt. So,
and Dreykus is a boring ass champ. I'm just going to say it.
Give it to Strickland.
Yes.
Strickland needs to take it. He needs to take it. I think he will, bro.
Dana White might not like that, but we all would love it.
No, I mean,
Dana probably loves it.
I don't think. Yeah, I think Strickland, like obviously he's somebody you have to manage to say the least, but he's entertaining and he sells. Like he's as wild and out there as he is. Like he speaks exactly what he's thinking in his brain, which most people avoid, but you got to respect it. You know,
I do. Yeah, definitely. D, I know who you're riding with.
Yeah, I mean that's an easy one. That's an easy one.
Easy work.
Yeah, we got to. I'm excited for this weekend. We got some fighting back to do. I got something for you guys. Big news drop. I mean, everybody, I'm seeing these videos of fallout of people stopping their weddings, people stopping events. Literally, people are at a party and people are literally started crying when the news broke.
Shit, you saw KD on the bench.
Yeah, the fans are handing them phones. What do we think about this with the Luka AD trade? Who won this in the trade? Which side won? And is it the biggest trade in NBA history or surprising?
I'm going to let Brogan go first because we haven't really dialed in about this.
No, it hasn't. There was no voice memos sent. It was...
I'll call him out. He was sleeping. I was hyperventilating. I'm on 2K with the guy. Everyone goes, guys, this can't be real. This can't. And all of a sudden, I'm getting texts. I'm like, this cannot be real. So I'm gonna let you go first, Brogan.
Well, you know why I was sleeping? Because as we all learned, the trade happened in the wee hours, and you're 3 hours back, right? So
that is true.
We were snoozing, and honestly, woke up, thought it was a dream, and realized that my dream was real life. So, that being said, why I've been a little quiet? We all know I'm a LeBron stan, right? But I hate to see. I'm a man. I have a heart, and I hate to see the relationship between AD and Bron, who are boys and brothers, get separated like that. Especially when it sounds like they didn't know. I think Bron probably had an idea. He probably always does, but I hated that aspect of it, and I still think AD is a huge piece. He won a championship with Bron. I go where Bron goes, right? So we won a championship a couple years ago, and I don't know. I wish things could have gone a lot smoother, but with a player like Luka, you have to keep it hush-hush. I think the most interesting part, though, is that Rob Pelinka obviously represented Kobe Bryant as his agent back in the day. And the Mavs owner was at Nike for 19 years and strictly did his deals with Kobe and Rob Pelinka. So there's a friendship. There's a lot going on there to unpack. And I think they just kind of, behind closed doors, as we all know now, just plotted and kept it a secret and didn't even tell Luka's agent. None of this. So I like the move. I still stress that they don't have a big man, but I'm going to tell you right now, I take Bron and Luka against 5 guys on the floor any day of the week. And Bron obviously just dropped a triple-double in the Garden the other night, 30 points. He's got a lot of ball left. I know he doesn't want to do it till the wheels fall off, so to speak. But he could go 3 more years. Seriously, he could go 3 more years. So I'm excited for it. I think it's a great trade. I think Dallas possibly, though, could have won this trade right now, and I think the Lakers won it in the future. They got an international player. LA is the place to do that. You saw what Kobe did across the globe, and Luka already has that engraved to him, kind of like Wemby. Wemby, his international following is unbelievable, and I think it's a business, right? You get Luka, you don't have to worry about getting that guy. He's 25. Now, I don't see 270 pounds on him getting off that flight. I don't know what you saw, but he looks good. Maybe cut down a couple brews late at night. He's going to be drinking rosés in LA. He's going to be bougie. He'll be good to go. He'll adjust quick.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think you're 100% spot on as far as the trade details. I think right now the Mavericks are set, to have more success in the immediate future. You know what I mean? From like literally this season, maybe next. But bro, the idea of Luka, I mean, it's honestly so crazy to me when you look at the details of the trade. That, I'm sorry, might sound like an asshole. I don't care. That GM for the Mavericks should be fired immediately.
I agree.
I'm saying it. I mean, and I'm not saying this to be a dick and I'll be a reactionary, emotional. De'Aaron Fox just had to give up 3 first-round picks, the Spurs did, to get De'Aaron Fox. Mm-hmm. They get 1 first-round pick in 2029. I know Anthony Davis is a great player. Luka Doncic is generational, and he's 6 years younger. I'm sorry. It's weird. I don't know how this happened. I think Pelinka low-key took advantage of this new GM, and he finessed, or conspiracy theory, the league's viewership. Yeah. The league's viewership's been a little low. Okay, nobody finds out.
The tinfoil hats.
I'm tinfoil hatting because
I'm here for that.
Or Rob Pelinka has some dirt on him.
Or no one's
going there.
There's a supreme hatred for Luka in that organization. You have to be. They took over $100 million out of that man's pocket.
That's crazy. And I'll say this to Addy. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, Darren. From what I've heard from sources, is that is true. That there is definitely some rocky relationships over there, and opinions about him and how he does what he does. That's obviously public, but I've heard as well. From the weight to showing up late to some meetings to little shit like that. That's just what I've heard. I don't know if it's true or not. I'm just saying what I've heard. Allegedly. So when you hear stuff like that and you're a team and you're pushing culture, and this is what we're trying to do, you got a new GM. He's going to try to put his imprint on the organization. Like, no, this is how we're going to do business. Yep. And all of that to be said, it doesn't matter because he's 25 years old. He's a generational player. They could have got 6 first-round picks for him and some.
Yes.
So that alone, I think he needs to be investigated because there's no way you get fleeced like that. Anthony Davis, great player. I'm not taking anything away from him. Hall of Famer, first ballot potentially.
Top 75.
But 25-year-old Luka Doncic, who just took the Mavericks to the finals last year, 5 years in a row at first-team All-NBA, bro, he's already a Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. So the fact that they didn't get that Hall for him, that's on the GM, and that's, I think, direct insubordination. I feel like if you shopped Luka, if you wanted to shop Luka, why not weigh all your options? Why not? You just make him bid. Who cares? Put him out there and say, listen, we're getting rid of Luka. This is what we're doing. Send all your offers. Why wouldn't you do that?
Isn't it kind of crazy, though? Because these guys, especially in the NBA, but this happens in the NFL world all the time, but especially in the NBA, because they say that the players run the league. But it's so crazy. A guy like Kevin Durant, LeBron, leave and go somewhere else, and they get ridiculed and say there's no loyalty or X, Y, and Z. Where's that loyalty in your opinion with these organizations and the higher ups? Where's their backlash?
They don't get it the same. They can get a little heat here and there, but nobody has a direct name to it. It's the players. If you're a player and you think, okay, I think it would be better off in my career to go move on somewhere else. Like, I'm more old school. Y'all know that. Like, I unless it's, some obvious we need to move on type situation, like, I tend towards staying. But at the same time, the organization never gets held to that responsibility and doesn't get held to any type of loyal, loyalty or relationship wise.
Yeah.
If Luka just took you to the finals, no matter what, just out of respect, like, bro, you just took us to a finals. You have been an unbelievable player since day one on our team. You fought through injuries, things like that. You don't even have a conversation with him. Mm-hmm. Don't tell him nothing. That's like crazy to me. So I just feel like some of these, people always talk about, preach loyalty. I mean, there were instances back then, like, bro, LeBron left, obviously. Kobe wanted to get out at one point, but they were like, no, that we're going to bring you the whole team. It was a little different. But, like,
yeah,
I mean, I think there's a double standard when it comes to that. That's just my opinion. So I think in the overall grand scheme of things, the Lakers are set for the next 10 years. Put players around Luka. I guarantee you people want to come to LA and come play with Luka. I think in the immediate, though, AD, Kyrie, Klay Thompson is the last couple of years. They still got PJ Washington, still got Derek Lively. They got weapons. They're going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem for sure.
What? AD with Kyrie? I don't know if people are talking about that enough. That is a disgusting duo on their front court. Never mind a back court. They don't need that anymore. They got a front court that's totally loaded. You got Lively and you got AD. Like you said, that's going to be interesting. But what I do find, before we move on, Bron has always won championships and done well with a guard. Yes, he had Chris Bosh, but that's the point I'm going to make is they've always had a guy, Drudis Ilgauskas, or there's many other guys that I'm missing down there, but they've always had at least a big. Might not be a perennial all-star, but they had a guy who was good enough down there, but LeBron was matched with an unbelievable guard. Now he's done that again. All I'm saying is the odds went down or have moved from 30-1 for them to win a title. It's now 16-1. I'm going to get my fifth ring. I promise you. If that's what it takes, I'm getting it.
Wow.
Hey, ignorant Bron Brogan is back. Now, I have something to be ignorant
he's
about.
He's got some shit to him now.
I was too quiet for 2 years because it was too long.
Grinding his teeth over there. Super Bowl weekend is a weekend like no other in the United States of America. I had the pleasure of going out and seeing the Super Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, and you don't want to miss it. If you find yourself scheduling a trip out to New Orleans this weekend, look no further than Game Time. Game Time has a new feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets for the event even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets to find the best value. I know we're not going to the Super Bowl, but if we were, I found my ticket. Fire emoji in the bottom right corner. Cheapest option. I know these prices can get pretty hefty. 2 tickets sitting right next to each other with 100% game time guaranteed, and it also tells you the perks. You're sitting in the aisle seat. That makes a difference. The pricing listed is all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows you the total up front with no surprise fees at checkout. Seat views gives you a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy. Lowest price guaranteed or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Game Time ticket coverage. Your tickets are guaranteed to be delivered on time, and your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code THERUSH for $20 off your next purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem the code THERUSH for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. Brogan, what time is it?
It's game time, D.
Cooper Kupp. That news just dropped. Trouble in Paradise? Like, what's happened? Is Pookie? Our boy Puka?
Pookie.
I mean,
it's number one. It's been obvious.
Obvious, but what do you see with Cooper Kupp going? There's a lot of potential suitors out there. One, does this catch you by surprise? And two, where do you, any suggestions as to where he's going to be?
I don't think it's a surprise at all. I know they were trying. There's been rumors for the last year or so, trying to move on. I think it's a tough situation with how McVay's system runs. Whoever the number one is, that's going to be the focal point, and they could fill in some other role players along the way. But Puka and Cooper were doing the same thing damn near. So Cooper's role just kind of diminished for a younger Puka who came on the scene hot, went crazy when Cooper was hurt last year. And then, this year, it's just you want to keep feeding the young guy. You know what I mean? Cooper is unbelievable. Cooper Kupp's had an incredible run in L.A. Super Bowl. He was a Super Bowl MVP, right? He was a Super Bowl MVP. I mean, this is a guy going towards a Hall of Fame resume. You know what I mean? And obviously it didn't work out. He's had some injury history. He's a little bit older now, but he could still ball. I think you got to get a guy like that in the right system. Like, as much as I hate to say this, like, you send him to KC. If I'm KC, I'm going to go try to get Cooper Kupp. You know what I mean? Like, or if I'm, Commanders, go put him with Terry McLaurin. Get him, you know what I mean? Put him with a duo with a young, good quarterback, and you got at least 3 more legitimate years with him. So if he can stay healthy. So, yeah, I think it's not by surprise. I think this is people kind of seen this coming, but it's kind of crazy that Cooper as a player is coming out and saying, like, listen, the Rams told me they want to get rid of me, and I'm immediately going to start weighing my options. It's kind of crazy. The league is changing for sure, and just the players having the platform to speak on their own situation is cool to see. We're trying to go towards the NBA route. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of speculation out there. I mean, a shit ton of teams could use him. He still has a lot of tread left on his tires. That motherfucker can dice people up in that route tree. Dude, he's a player.
He's a player. And honestly, boys, I don't think we're thinking deep enough into this right now about destination-wise, because I don't think the trade, there's much to it. But where I think we've seen this movie before, and tell me if I'm wrong.
I will.
I'd take Cooper Kupp and put him right in New England with Drake May, another white receiver to do what they do there on the back end, and you got Mike Vrabel there. It's the truth. It is the truth. He'd be great in this
white receiver.
Well, that's where.
I can low-key see that though. I could see that.
Where else?
England, I'm going all in. Get Adam Thielen and Cooper Kupp. Put them in the slot to have them interchangeable. It'd be unstoppable.
So they're on your all-white NFL team, but we really don't know which side you're on yet.
Motor, lunch pail. Blue collar, just they're going to bring their hard hat to work type of player.
I could see him in a New England all-white jersey. I just see it already. 100%.
I think so. And honestly, while we're on this, and I know you guys don't have to respond to this, Darian, we said it before we got on air, but another receiver that asked for a trade that needs to go somewhere, Garrett Wilson, needs to go to the Las Vegas Raiders. And that's the only time I'm going to say that really quickly. But I'm going to put that out there. It's a true one. He wants out. There's something that can be done there. He's a young dog, kind of like a Luka. This guy's going to play for some years, and he is unbelievable in space. You put him with Jacoby and Brock Bowers and those guys out there. That's my one little nugget for all of our little Condor Cartel.
Garrett Wilson.
Whoa. If he was a Raider, would you tell him to wear tight sleeves?
I would tell him he needs to reconsider his shoulder pad situation. I'm not a fan of that, but it's okay. I think at the end of the day, I mean, you get a guy like him, T. Higgins, DK Metcalf, come on down. Somebody like that. I mean, now we're having some conversation, but
there's a lot of synergies there. What I would say is the receiver market is going to be the hot commodity this offseason. I think last year you saw a lot of moving pieces. We saw some big running back moves and transactions. This year it's going to be receivers and also defensive linemen now, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was going to say I don't want to cut you off, but yeah, there's I was going to say receivers definitely, but there's about 8 of us that are going to,
For sure. Well, that's the thing. Gary's so speechless from the day today. I don't know if he can even talk about it.
Man. I you know what? Here's my take on this. I genuinely news drop. Thank you, Brogan. Sending it to me mid-meeting. I had to end the meeting because I thought it was a joke, and so I had to look and see if it was, Photoshop. I'm happy for him. I really am.
You're talking about the Myles Garrett trade.
Miles Garrett. I'm sorry but I'm genuinely happy for Myles Garrett. He knows what he wants for his career. He's been openly saying that. He's given everything to the Browns organization. He's a man in the community. He's got ownership in the Cavs. Like, he fully embraced being a Cleveland Brown. And the Cleveland Browns, they did him wrong. They didn't surround him with the right people. They made faulty, arguably the worst business decision in the history of the NFL.
Look what it cost them.
And look what it cost them. You got all these players that literally gave everything to the city, and like the city embraced them, and they've spit in their faces. So I'm happy that Myles Garrett's actually taken his future into his own hands and looking to go and use his body that he only has one of to win a Super Bowl and chase his dream. So I was speechless, but there was no bit of me that was mad. It's more angry at the city of Cleveland. Because time after time after time.
I feel like the only thing I feel like while you're going through this hard time, D, because you had one guy to root for the last 5-6 years or so. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, brother. Just stay away from sharp objects and all that at your house. But we love you. And my one thing on it that I thought was classic in his letter was the goal is never Cleveland to Canton.
Yeah.
That one stung.
That stung for people in the Midwest and Darius.
Well, because he didn't want to, everybody was grouping him in saying, well, he's a Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas didn't leave. He's the next Joe Thomas for the city. No, he's not. He's not. He wants to go win. And I respect that. Didn't hurt me. No.
You got to respect it, bro. He's an all-pro player.
Yeah.
But one of the elite rushers in the league. I mean, he's been there for a while. Hasn't seen. I mean, it's the ultimate team sport. That's the tough thing. You see it. In basketball. Basketball is a little different. You get two superstars, and you're good. You know what I mean? In football, you got to have front office right, coaching right, player. Across the board to have a chance. You saw, like you said, Joe Thomas. He stayed there, but I mean, I bet. Maybe Joe Thomas, if he looked back, be like, shit, I wish I had a chance to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I'm sure he said the same thing. I know Myles, we'll see what happens, but it's going to be very interesting. But at the end of the day, like, you're putting your body on the line. You know what I mean? You're doing it. Your window is not forever. And, I mean, he's about to be 30. So he's trying to, he definitely, he's got a new contract that's going to be on the way as well. And he's also trying to win. You know what I mean? So he's earned that, and it's going to be really interesting. I'm curious to see what happens.
Any thoughts as to where he might land? Any early speculations?
I have no idea, to be honest.
So I was going to ask. Obviously, a lot of reports are timed to a million places, right? Eagles, but a fan favorite is everyone would love to see you guys play on the same team together. But my question to you, Max, that's obviously out of your control. What would it be like to team up, though, with a guy like that? Or is it in football, like you mentioned with basketball, is on the D-line, like, can you have two perennial guys like yourself on the same team? Like, does that work? Can you make it work financially? Can you make it work on the field? Can you make it work in the locker room? Like, from your experience, do you think that's something that could work? Or is it kind of like, hey, if you already have a guy like Max or you have a guy like Myles, you almost need to pair him up with like a guy who's up and coming, or maybe an older vet who still has some pop in his game. Just kind of want your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, of course. I mean, the more rushers, the better. I mean, D-line is one of the positions where, you know what I mean, you put your best. You see what happened look what the Texans did. They invested all in their D-line. They got Danico Autry inside. They got Daniil. They got Will Anderson. They got dudes across the board, and they got after the quarterback like a motherfucker. You've seen it last year. I mean, obviously it sucked having Kunze go down and get hurt, but like me and Malcolm, like he's an up and coming guy, but shit, me and Malcolm led the whole league in pressures as a duo the year before. And we had over 20, 23 combined, or I don't know how many, 22 and a half or something combined, like wrecking shit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, of course, the more rushers, the better. Yeah. With Yannick, me and Yannick got busy together. I mean, there's a lot of guys. So, I mean, in football, bro, the more rushers, and you could ask any front office, they're looking for rushers. There's not a lot of great rushers. And if you can get one, you go and get one. You know what I mean? I think in our situation in Vegas, I mean, I don't know if it even be physically or financially possible to even make that happen. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not a salary cap guy, but I mean, There's going to be, I mean, if you bring a guy like Myles and myself, there's a lot of people that got to get paid, and there's the whole team, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that would work, but shit, I mean, bro, me and Myles and TJ and
oh my God,
Chris, we all went to the Pro Bowl together in 21, the last real Pro Bowl where we played in the game. And bro, we had the most fun week ever. We're sitting there just scheming like, bro, all right, we're going to do this on third down. We're going to game, da, 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 da. Like, bro, it's the most fun thing ever when you don't have to get triple teamed every play. You know what I mean? Like, you know, it's a little different. You put two guys like that on the edge, you pick your poison. You know what I mean? It's a little different. So, yeah, I mean, more rushes the better. Just to leave it at that.
I like that. The last thing I'll say about the whole Myles Garrett thing is, as a Cleveland fan, I'll forever be thankful for just taking Mason Rudolph's helmet off and just that still picture of him just. So, I mean, that's gonna go up on the wall. Actually, that's a moment in history.
That was a moment in history. It was almost
iconic.
And then Pouncey comes out stomping him.
Bro, that shit was nuts.
Yeah,
that was iconic. Speaking of iconic, this upcoming weekend, actually, we have the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. What are our first of all, are you going to be attending? Are you going to be in town? Last year, we had the luxury of the Super Bowl being in Vegas, so the whole crew was out there for felt like 3 weeks. But it's in New Orleans this year. Are you going to be down there?
I will be down there. I got to be at Honors on Thursday, so looking forward to that. Got the whole Walter Payton, nominee. So we'll see what happens. But either way, just being nominated by the Raider organization and my teammates and people around the league it means a lot, just being in that consideration. So I'm looking forward to it. Excited. Obviously it's a little bittersweet, unfortunately I got hurt and, didn't get to be a nominee for the defensive player of the year. So that's going to be, that's going to hurt a little bit, but more motivation, you know what I mean, going into this off season. So, yeah, but I'm excited, be around a lot of great people, network, work, still get my training in the mornings. We're going to be in and out, but looking forward to it. Thursday is going to be dope.
Hell yeah. So you don't have to stay there for the game and go out on the field and do the whole thing like last year on Sunday?
I mean, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's still in there. We're going to figure out what happens. But right now we're just taking a day at a time. It's different with my injury. Yeah, my injury, I can't be, moving too much. So we'll see.
That's awesome, though, bro. 2 years in a row, though, finalist for Walter Payton Man of the Year. I think that's something that doesn't get talked about enough. But obviously, everyone back home, they probably have seen the films they've been doing with you guys over this time, kind of just showing all the nominees, I should say.
Yeah.
But no, kudos to you, bro. We already know what you do on a day-to-day basis inside your own circle, outside your circle, in the community, more importantly. I mean, this guy's blessing the entire front, not even just the front office, the entire Raiders organization with Jordans. So we love you, bro. We know how big that heart is, and it's good that everybody else gets to see it, and you're actually, being recognized for it. I know that's not what you do it for, but yeah, bro, just keep being you. It's awesome to see.
Hell yeah. I appreciate you boys. No, I'm excited. It's going to be dope.
Yeah. So obviously New Orleans, that's where the Super Bowl's at.
NOLA.
Any thoughts on the city? You think that's a great location for a Super Bowl? Because I can only imagine the amount of arrests that are going to be going down there this week.
Oh, no doubt. There's going to be some wild activity going on down there. But just hearing from some people that are down there, my boy Foster, he's a New Orleans resident. And just hearing, some people kind of whisper about how it is already. Today's Monday, and supposedly it's already, the city's on fire already. Everything's kind of in close quarters. In Vegas, you kind of got to move around, and the Strip is a shit show, low key. Not saying that's a bad thing. Last year the Super Bowl was insane, but just in New Orleans, it's very tight knit. You don't have to go very far. Everything is like super put together. So I think New Orleans is a party city. You know what I mean? They like to celebrate. They love their Saints. They love football. They love having a reason to go out there and go crazy. So I think New Orleans is going to be lit for sure.
Yeah. D, what do you think's the best city for the Super Bowl, bro? Really quick.
I had the luxury of going out there for when it was in Scottsdale or it was in Phoenix. And I thought, originally like that would be a really cool place to have it. But where you have the stadium away from the city so far, it took like over an hour to get there from Scottsdale. So that took it out. But another one to me would be you have Miami would just be sick. I mean, that's got to be the automatic one. And then you get the star. So if you did it down in Dallas, that would be a sick one.
Yeah.
And then I'd say third would be Atlanta. I think those would be my top three. But Vegas, what I would say is that minus the traffic, like we legit had to get out of the road. Thank God God bless our driver. I forget her name, but she whipped that Yui. We parked in the middle of the road and got out and ran because we were so late for one of the showings. But if you minus the traffic, Vegas is the perfect place for it. There's so many venues. There's so many events all the way down the strip. Such nice restaurants. The stadium obviously is first class. So I would love to see it be like more of a continual 3-4 city rotation. That would be dope.
And obviously, maybe if you sprinkle in like a Lambeau here and there, would be cool. I don't. Have they done the Super Bowl at Lambeau? It's too
I don't know if they can do it outdoors if it's in a cold place.
But that would be sick. Like, that's football. That's the NFL. Like, that is championship. But I agree. You got to have good conditions.
I don't even know if Lambeau's built for that. Like, how do you even get to Lambeau? How do you get to Green Bay?
You can
fly to Milwaukee?
Yeah. I think it's to go by boat. I don't know.
From Holland, Michigan.
Yeah, you got to fly into Detroit and take a ferry across the water.
For real, though.
Pack the coat.
Yeah.
That's funny, bro. Well, D, you mentioned it last year in Vegas. I'm just curious. What are the boys? We won't be there this week, unfortunately. Hopefully, we will be in the future watching, cheering the boy on. But if not, hopefully we start making it a thing to get down there. But what was your guys' favorite memory, just one, last year from our 3-week staycation out in Vegas for the Super Bowl?
I'll let Darian go first.
Oh, classic.
Yeah. Put you on the spot.
I'm gonna say I got two. I got two right off the bat. I think first one, of course, is gonna be shout out to Johnny Manziel. I think that was a cool conversation because he hadn't really been in the media or talking to people, and especially being in Cleveland, like seeing like what everybody said about him and the version we got of him. You always think this is the type of guy he is, but getting to sit down with him, super down to earth, came by himself, kicked it with us forever.
One of us.
He's a cool ass dude. So that one was pretty cool. But I think my all-time favorite moment was we had to go to one of the 50 million events for Maxx. And we had to stand at the was a hamburger eating contest with Cam. And this lady stands up. She stands up from the table. Yeah, Joey Chestnut's there, and they had to eat like a big quadruple pounder burger with a pile of fries, a milkshake, and this little lady who she couldn't have been 140 pounds. Yeah. She stands up, looks at us, and we're like, "You good?" She goes, "I think I'm gonna."
And she
puked everywhere, all over the entire table. It got on my shoes. We're huddled in a corner, hugging, screaming, trying to get away from this lady who's just projectiling like an infant.
Maxx was actually emceeing the whole event. Yeah. He had to put the mic. He goes, "I'm gonna puke," and he puts the mic down.
So I think that was mine. That was those two.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that for as long as I live.
That was foul.
Oh my God, it was straight chili. But anyway, where do we? I mean, there's so many good memories. Where do I start? I'm gonna say number one. I'm gonna just start with this because this is the first thing that hit my brain when you asked this question.
I was going to say, it came with so many highs, but it came with so many lows.
I was going to say, before Johnny's amazing episode and our great time with him, we went and saw my new house, and I was so excited to see, have you guys see the house. And then we come back, and our house had been broken into, and broken happened to be the only room to get completely destroyed, and
thank God, actually
your chain took, your shoes got. I mean,
my contacts were taken out and used.
Yeah, you got pink eye. I mean, everything.
The homeless man left his raggedy boots and took your forces.
That had to be number one.
That has to be the most disrespectful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Is this homeless man? And we saw him. We saw him when we were leaving.
Looked him in the eye.
We were like,
look back,
this
bro.
dude's so sketchy. Yeah, we saw this man, and he walked in the back window, and he left his dirty, raggedy boots in Brogan's room and took all his shit. I can only imagine what he did with your toothbrush.
This is the problem. Like you guys said, Max even said out loud when we're pulling out of the driveway, because our gates wouldn't work at this Airbnb anymore, right? To cut off the driveway, we couldn't get them to work anymore. Probably our fault. But anyways, Max says out loud, this freak staring at us for? and the guy is just staring at us and waiting for us to leave, and we don't know. And then all of a sudden we come back, and luckily we had a package at the door. I think the knock on the door scared the fella out of my room, and I'm using fella here very loosely. And my door's locked. And then we go to the back, and the drapes are hanging out, and I already knew. And the best part is, this is how I know I have some real friends around me. I open the door, and you guys are just lounging, and I said, someone stole my shit. And you guys look at each other and basically don't even mind me and just start laughing. I'm like, I'm dead ass. Get your ass in here. There's shoes in here.
Bro.
So you guys,
you know how difficult it is to process something like that? Like
my brain was fried. I didn't know what to even react. It was like Luka trade. I couldn't even comprehend what was going on. I look at Darian, and Darian is shaking in the chair. I could not keep a straight face. You go, bro, my door's locked. My door's locked. We're like, bro, you're fine. He goes, probably the wind blew it or whatever. Like, chill, whatever. Bro,
when he said they took my shoes,
oh my god, my necklace.
I couldn't breathe.
That was crazy.
They already traded that for a Cobra at the corner store.
Oh, what? He got a pack of 40s and went wild. He was walking around Vegas with some Air Force Ones and literally a tennis chain on, and your eye drops. He attempted to put another human's eye drops in your eye. That alone, he should be found and put in a facility, because that's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I hope I have the wrong prescription for him.
I can't believe it. In the city of Las Vegas, get on it.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Every time like Johnny and like Will and Taylor, the Boston crew, came over for episodes that we did that week, which was awesome, everyone kind of was like, man, that's a pretty sketchy area, huh? And we were like, no, it seems great.
No,
have you seen the house?
Pad. We're like, there's a hot tub in the inside. There's a basketball court, tennis court. It was sick.
We had a facility. We just didn't realize we were in the trenches.
That was on the cut.
I just remember looking at Max saying, go check your shit. As soon as I came out, I was like, go check your shit, because it's more important.
Thanks.
If the idiot came out of my room, though, luckily that's why I say if someone knocked on the delivery, he shut the door, locked it, ran out the back. Thank Christ, because if he had about 5 to 10 more minutes and he opened my door, we had wallets, we had laptops. Max had all of his shit, jewelry sitting there. He could have had a field day, and thankfully he wasn't there when the boys walked in, because that would have been no good for anybody.
It would have been over. He would not be here today.
No. That would have been game over.
No offense, but he would not be here.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Offense
All
is needed.
offense.
So imagine we walk in that house and we're witnessing those two homeless people ransack. I would have grabbed the largest object and threw it like a spear through someone's skull. It would have been over. It would have been. Darian would have killed. Darian alone body slamming somebody would kill them.
Let's put our thief cap. Hey, let's put our thief.
I'm just saying. I didn't mean you. I meant suplex, not
no, Darian. There's a lot of truth in whatever he's trying to lie about right now.
Just, like throw some body slam them on their body.
They heard him. No, Brogan, I know. You know, right?
I know. I know what you meant by that.
Never do that to you, Darian. Never.
Darian, he's not going to do that. He's just going to do it right on live air. No big deal.
Yeah.
Those homeless guys would have been toast either way. There's no lies to it.
Really quick, let's do a fun exercise. If you had your thief cap on and you went in the house and you decided, I'm going to ransack this joint, right? And we come rolling in, what is your first thought? Because
fake
you're
a heart
like,
attack.
I hit the wrong home.
Yeah, you got to fake a heart attack.
And I'm not saying we're Navy SEALs here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got 6'6", 6'5", 6'4", 6'4". Like, I mean, the house was filled up with a lot of meat.
Three violent hooligans running in. Yeah, there would be
just run hot already.
I'd be like, take it back. Just take it back, brother.
Yeah, you got to fake a heart attack and you got to take your L. Like nobody's gonna hit somebody that's faking a heart attack because then it's like they could get charged with murder. So that's the smart thing to do.
Yeah,
100%.
Well, I'm really glad my lowest moment was Max's highest moment. That is all time.
What was your highest moment?
Well, that's funny because karma has a funny thing. I think the funniest thing was actually. Let me rechange my tone because I got hammered about my tone and how I was smiling when I told this story originally. I thought it was pretty interesting and very irresponsible. And not a good friend for me, but me scratching Max's ribs last year.
Oh, yeah. That was the same week.
That was the same week.
That's why I said so many highs and a lot of lows.
Damn.
See, Max, how's it feel? Your lowest moment is being my highest? I don't think so.
I don't think that was your highest moment.
It wasn't. My highest moment.
You're shining now, though. Shout out to that new rep job.
Yeah, they did a great job. Shout
what
out
place do you go for rim jobs? I want to go.
Huh?
Where do you go for rim jobs in Vegas? Anyways, I think
you need help.
You really do. You really need Jesus.
Laid it right off the glass like this ball in 2014.
I think the best moment, truly, this is. There was a lot. You guys hit on so many great ones. That's where my mind goes.
I mean, there were so many dope events. Like, bro, we were going balls to the wall, literally sun up to sundown. Got to meet. Who else? Who all do we meet? From Joey Chestnut. To hanging out with Deion Sanders. I got to chop it up with him before the Rich Eisen show.
Yep. Dude, we went over to Big Cat and Pardon My Take. We sat there.
Oh, yeah.
That was unbelievably the week fun.
There. They did say we have to come out to the Chicago headquarters and do a vlog.
This offseason.
We have to. I'm about to do Gruden on Thursday for the Barstool podcast.
Put Gruden on the show because we got some great ideas for him.
Yes, I'll ask the questions that people want to know.
I just let him talk. Oh my God! Just let him go. Just let him.
I'm so in. Did you see the video of him? That new Barstool employee who's the center at Indiana. He's walking in to shake Gruden's hand. Gruden shakes his hand, throws his shit down, and goes, "Come on, let me see that stance."
Yeah, he gets
flips him around and takes a snap under center. First interaction with the guy.
Perfect.
I feel like the number one thing that I take away from Super Bowl, so we get off this topic really quick, is and I don't mean to be cliche, but honestly, that was our first time. This podcast started last year during the season, literally a year ago, and this was our first run at getting guests on, and we came out with Dana White, Johnny Manziel, the Bussin' with the Boys crew, Brian Baldinger. We had our own live show. It was the first real run the boys had together, and like Max said, we went to every one of his events during the day, and yeah, he was busy, but like it was just the experience. Like the
100%.
experience we got was unreal. The amount of knowledge, the things we learned, how to have guests on, how that flows. Those things matter with the podcast. We just learned to go on with, and then just seeing you and your moments. I think it was cool that you brought us along. Like it was just the overall experience. One of the best things, honestly, that I felt like I've gotten to do, and we've done a lot of cool shit. So that's up there for me. That's the whole experience, man, and having the guest on, and now we're doing it all over again this off season. So it's gonna be special.
100%. No, that shit was legendary, bro. There's so many memories, I feel like if we just went day by day, like, oh my God, I remember this and that. There's so many damn crazy moments and dope moments. And it finished, from start to finish, it was a damn movie, bro. It was so much fun.
It was.
And being with the boys, like we were just in the car and driving, and we were just, bro. She's like,
that was Ann.
She's like, don't act like.
She was yelling at me.
Be yourself. Just be yourself.
I was saying, yes, ma'am. Like she was yelling at me, like, stop doing that. I said, yes, ma'am.
Hell yeah. Put that sauce on.
Yes.
You did.
That Airbnb we got caught on the Airbnb the first night.
Oh my God.
That's how we ended up in the trenches.
Oh my God. It's true. I forgot.
The memories, they flow. But all right, I'm going to snatch us out of this. So we're out of memory lane. Let's go back to New Orleans. Let's talk about the Super Bowl real quick. I want to know who's our winner, who's our loser. of Super Bowl coming up here this weekend?
And who's
Talk to
Super
me.
Bowl MVP prediction, by the way?
Ooh.
Philly, Saquon Barkley. Short and sweet, straight to the point.
I like that.
Yep.
Darian, he took your thunder, so he's sick. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go.
Oh, that's all right, Josh.
I'm going Chiefs, and I'm going Patty Mahomes, man. Best in the world. I mean.
I hate to say it, but the closer I get to the game, I'm starting to feel that too. But I don't. I'm sticking with my guns. Philly, Saquon Barkley.
I like it. D, are you going to jump on his bandwagon?
Yeah,
No, I gotta be smart real quick. So what's going to happen is Saquon Barkley's going to win MVP for the league, right? Been saying that. He needs it. He gets it. But then they come out, Jalen Hurts, MVP, Eagles win. He comes out and has himself a dummy performance. They're going to try and stack the box against Saquon, and then him and A.J. Brown just have a field day.
Wow.
So
I can see that too. I can see that too. I like that, Darian. Very, very educated. Look at you.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go with that since you wanted to take my MVP. He should be 2-time MVP if I bet with my heart.
He said, okay, I've got a question. If Chiefs do win, a lot of people in the comment section are going to be very butthurt. But past that note, is Mahomes going to have, his fourth ring? So my question to you is, does that put him kind of pretty much in the Brady conversation at that point once he wins this one? Or do you think still he's got to keep going? Because I hate this. You guys say LeBron's not Jordan because he didn't have the ring. So I stand on Bron's side. So I'm not going to stand on here and say Tom Brady's the greatest just because he has more rings. I'm not doing that because then I would be a coward. I'd be a hypocrite. And I'm neither one of those two things. And I think if we're taking real talent, Mahomes is the best to do it. He's got Aaron Rodgers mixed with Brady. He can win, and he can also gunsling like Aaron. He's combined together. They created a baby, and he's the baby.
A baby. No, I mean, only time will tell. But, I mean, his trajectory is nobody's ever done it, period. So I hate to say it, but he's like that. And the mixture of him, Andy Reid, is like literally a match made in heaven. And Kelsey, those three, the synergy is off the charts.
I wonder if Kelsey retires if they do three-peat.
I feel like he does.
That's your take.
That's my hot take. Kelsey retires regardless.
Win or lose?
Regardless. Yeah. I think he retires. I think he's done. Him and his brother are going to make so much money. They're already making so much money in the podcast world. I think they got a $100 million deal already.
Yeah.
He's going to go do his thing. He's with T Swifty. He has 4 rings, first ballot Hall of Famer. He's
done it all. Doesn't need to tear his body up anymore.
Yeah, his body has already gone through it. You saw during the beginning of the year, he's like, I'll do anything. I'll put my body through anything. So it's kind of like he's hinting at like, this is it. And I feel like just from, my feeling.
You think it's the last dance for Travis Kelce this year, pretty much?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Might be wrong, but I think so.
Wow. Yeah. That's crazy. I could see it. I guess one more thing I got here on Super Bowl is that Bill Belichick this week said he wants to change the Lombardi trophy to the Tom Brady trophy. Any thoughts on that? You like that? I think personally, if you're going to change anything, change the Super Bowl MVP to Tom Brady. That's cool. I think he's got not all of them, but he's got a lot of them, and that's your way of showing that respect. But Lombardi's got to stay Lombardi, in my opinion.
Yeah, Lombardi is Lombardi. I just feel like that. That's what it is. You know what I mean? We grew up, everybody. That's what it is. But I mean, I get his logic though. I believe players win championships. I believe players win games. Obviously, coaches help, but players are the ones that go out there and do it. So it makes sense. But I like that Super Bowl MVP is the Tom Brady award. I like that.
That'd be cool. It's kind of crazy to see Belichick give Brady that much love too, considering the amount of talk people gave that he hated them, they hated each other, the relationship sucked, etc. But that's massive respect. For sure. That's Belichick though. Like if he's coaching you, like he's gonna treat you the same as everybody else. That's just what he did. He comes from that military background. They don't fuck around with that. They don't budge. He's an incredible coach. You know what I mean? He doesn't. It's like Creighton. Like at the end, when we were with Creighton, like Creighton was not budging for no. You know what I mean? Like he stood on what he believed in. He was not changing that shit for nothing. So you got to respect that. I think that's the best coaches out there. Yeah. You see it with. I mean, Pete Carroll's another one. Like Pete Carroll, he's like that. Every single player, everyone that talks about him, they all say the same thing. So, I mean, the great ones, great coaches, they carry themselves a certain way for sure. And you got to
that standard. If you're preaching it and talking about it, you got to be about it every day. Yeah, so
it's almost that we need everybody, but don't need anybody phrase that we used to always hear, and we hate it.
Yeah.
But it's the truth with those guys that you're saying.
It's real shit. That's real shit. So I've been searching forever for a protein shake with clean ingredients that actually taste good. I got introduced to Slate protein drinks by my brother, Dana White, and I was hooked immediately. Slate is hands down the best protein shake on the market. It tastes incredible. All of the flavors are incredible, but I can't stop drinking the French vanilla, which legit tastes like melted ice cream. What I eat can have huge effects on my performance, so I'm always paying attention to what I'm putting in my body. Each can of Slate has 20 grams of protein, 100 calories, and only 1 gram of sugar. I drink 2 of them actually after every workout, and I drink 2 every single morning. And that is not a lie. I know I'm an investor and I know I'm part of the team, but I'm telling you the truth because Slate is a part of my everyday routine. Plus, it's made with no artificial ingredients. That means no artificial sweeteners or flavors. I drink Slate every single day, and now my teammates are drinking it as well. If you're looking for a pick-me-up, Slate has a line of high-protein iced coffees that have 20 grams of protein plus as much caffeine as 2 cups of coffee. I mean, it's a double whammy. Unbelievable. Start your day the right way. Sometimes, instead of the coffee, I'll grab the mocha latte to get extra protein in the morning. You can find Slate everywhere at retailers nationwide, including Walmart, Target, Kroger, Safeway, and Albertsons. Looking to get Slate delivered directly to your door? Get 15% off your order on slatemilk.com with code RUSHPOD. That's RUSHPOD. Go get that right now. Slate Milk, best protein shakes in the game.
Let's go to our new segment really quick. It's called Go Ahead Caller. Really, we want you guys to send in every week. It's a new segment. We're going to keep running with it, boys and girls. Give us if you need relationship advice, these guys are the best at it. If you guys have a hot take on what's going on in the world, maybe you have a hot take on what's going on in your own house. Maybe you have to do the dishes. Maybe you should just take the garbage out. We want to know, and we want to talk through this with you guys. So Darian's got a couple. We got 2 of them this week. We're going to keep that 1 to 2 every week. So the best one, most entertaining one is going to normally win.
And I'm saying, we love the football element of this show, but make this something that we can talk about. We talk about football the whole time on the show. Ask some good questions. Put us in a scenario. Ask a funny question. Those will be the ones that get on it. All right.
100%. Yeah, we need to spice it up.
We need a little banter.
100%.
Yeah. But this one, unfortunately, since we didn't set the precedence, it's kind of like rush mail, where people are just asking a quick question. So Jose 209s wants to know, and this is a good one, how do NFL fines get paid? How does that work? You always hear somebody got fined this. There's a court system? What's that whole process look like?
Yeah, it's a very interesting process that I know a lot about. I've been fined copious amounts of money in my career. Got fined multiple times this year. It's just what we do. But anyways, it's kind of delayed. You take a couple weeks, that comes out, he got fined this amount of money. That money's not taken out right away. So you have to wait. You have to have your call with the league. So it's like Derek Brooks and whoever the other NFL people are involved in that front office or front league, league people, league office people. You get on a call, you get on with agents. So it was me and CJ, Derek, and an NFLPA rep. And I plead my case. They say, okay, Max, this play at 14-23 in the first quarter of the game, you socked somebody in the neck. What is your thoughts on this? What happened here? Blah, blah, blah. You can explain yourself. So I'm like, all right, cool. So took an order in the court. I say, listen, this motherfucker, you know what I mean? Whatever the situation is, I plead, listen, this is what happened. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, I think Miami game, I got 3 of them. And I low key, I beat 2 of them. The one, it was tough. it was tough time in the season. It was 9 games in a row, and I was in a dark place. So yeah, it was a little loose cannon-y. We learned from it, moved forward. But yeah, things like that. I've won a lot of them. That's the thing. But it goes through that system. You do your appeal, and he goes, okay, we'll get back to you soon. So you find out maybe a week or so later, boom. You beat this case, the money doesn't get taken out. But if you get fined, let's say one of them, where I got the personal foul or whatever is Miami, they'll fine me $22,000, let's say, for instance. if I don't win that appeal, it's taken out of my. It's like it's not like I send a check. Here's $22,000
right out of your account.
It's just taken out of your account. Like that week, like let's say that week or whatever, it's taken out of that game check. So so you don't even really, you know what I mean? Like they're just taken out of that. Or if you get half of it taken away, it's happened to me multiple times. Like my rookie year, I got fined $50,000 in one game, $52,000, and I was a rookie. And I was like, what? But it was a back-to-back offense on a roughing. I put my nose through Deshaun Watson's chin and speared him.
Yeah, you did.
So I murdered Deshaun Watson. I got right under his chin, got a roughing the passer back-to-back weeks. So they doubled my roughing fine to $42,000. Then I got fined $10,000 for an accidental face mask. I'm like, bro, what the? How do you find $10,000 for a face mask? I didn't even mean to. So then they took away the $10,000. Then they knocked my fine down in half. So I had to pay like $21,000. But at the time, it's like, bro, that's like 2 weeks of after taxes. That's like 2 game checks basically as a rookie. Like I was like, damn, this sucks. I got to stop getting penalties. And Gruden came up to me ironically. He's like, you got to be careful. He goes, you're getting fined every week now. He's like, average a penalty a game. I'm like, all right, I got you. So I had to dial it back, but I cleaned it up. I'm just so used to, you got to be smart. The NFL is a little different. College, you could slam somebody in the ground, shatter their collarbone, and they encourage it. But it's a little different in the league. You hit somebody the wrong way, they'll take your money. So, yeah, but that's how it works.
That money should go towards your guys' foundation, though. That's one thing I hate that they should change it to.
Supposedly it goes to the NFL like foundation of whatever NFL foundations they have, which is there are a million of them. So hopefully it's going to a good cause. I think it's going to some other pockets, but we're not going to talk about that. But anyway, it should go to my foundation. Shout out the Mad Max Foundation. Shout out the Bird. Shout out the whole team.
Yes, it should.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone into them guilty? You said you go in there, you plead your case. You ever walked in and just said, I'm guilty?
No.
You can't.
Never.
Okay.
Hell no.
I didn't know if you were proud of any of them. That's all. Really.
Oh, definitely some of them were well earned, and I was fine with it. There's been times
to cut that check.
I'll take that fine. I love it.
He's like, get the on the phone.
Literally. But yeah, there's some of them where you're just like, it's tough to defend, but there's always come on now. OJ beat a case. Who you could beat a case.
For sure.
Okay.
He did.
We
there's
know
more evidence than anything, and he found a way. So I'm never going to say I did it.
Every year they put out a new Netflix documentary of it.
I'm watching the new one right now.
Are you? Is it worth it?
Yes.
Is it better than the other 10 that's come out?
The first one that came out on Netflix where Cuba Gooding Jr. was like a biopic. Yeah. That was incredible.
That was great.
That was incredible. But this one is more like it has the cops, like Mark Furman, the cop that the racist cop and all that. Like he's in it. The DA off it, like people that were really and they break it down by like which details were left out, like in court, like literally the blood trail, all like so much obvious shit that they took out because they just. You know how the law goes. They finagled their way through the whole thing. And it's crazy, bro. You should really watch it. I'm on the 3rd episode right now.
Yeah. I'm in there. All right. We got one more. T_Kiesel11 wants to know start, bench, and cut. Waffles, pancakes, French toast. Whoa.
God.
I'm starting pancakes. I'm
starting pancakes.
And I'm benching French toast, and I'm cutting that waffle. They're too hard unless you're going to Waffle House, and Waffle House is starting. But other than that, that's my order.
I like that. I think I'm going to just put this in all my optimal
best scenario.
All of them. I'm going to go Grandma Sharon's French toast. My grandma Sharon. She's a saint. God, her French toast is something else. She used to make the best breakfast, whether it was eggs, she used to make the deviled eggs. She'd make the French toast. She'd make it for me and Myles and Mila. Like, unbelievable. So I'm putting Sharon's French toast in our starting lineup. Shout out to Sharon. I love you so much if you're watching. Great grandmother. Waffle House, 2 a.m., Euless, Texas, 3 minutes from my home in Texas, where I used to live. That waffle, nothing. I mean, that was some, we don't talk about sides, but I'm going with those sides. And then you go pancake. Since we're taking them out of the picture, I'm gonna have to cut the old pancake. Sorry. And I love pancakes, but I mean,
apparently
not as much as the other.
D, I
take
am dying to hear what you got here, brother.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go. French toast is starting. If you get a nice piece of French toast, I mean, who the stopping that?
Nope.
And Brogan, I'm gonna have to agree with you that the waffle, unless it's like a Blue Door waffle where they have this chicken and waffle with jalapeno infused.
You ever had a blue waffle before?
Okay. Anyways, so pancakes are going to be on the bench. Waffles get cut, and Brogan gets banned as well. He's canceled.
He's canceled.
Yeah, we're going to cancel him.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
All
What
right.
a great segment.
Yeah, I like that segment. So that's a good one. We have one more segment here. That is our Dog of the Year.
Wow.
So really, D, it doesn't have to be MVP because I already know where you're going with this, and you can still go that route.
Okay.
It could be an underdog that had an unreal breakout performance this year. It could just be someone that was maybe dog of the day numerous times. It can be whatever. But really, the floor is yours and where you think this award should go to. Next year, we're gonna be shipping out awards for this, by the way, like the Grammys that just took place.
Yes, like Kanye. We're on the same wavelength. Like Kanye's wife
wasn't even invited. He wasn't even invited. They just goes to drop the towel.
Kanye says that's a rumor.
Yeah, supposedly he just showed up to take pictures and show off his naked wife and then got out.
And then peaced.
He had other things to do.
Is that the most Kanye thing ever, though? Honestly.
Ever.
No, the most Kanye thing ever is him standing to the side just...
You could tell they had like a little scrum right before they started taking pictures. He was like, hey, just make sure just 5 seconds in, just pull your tits out.
Yeah.
And then they turned and casually went to the picture. It was classic.
It was classic. But hey, my dog of the year, because I feel like you guys might be thinking here, but mine, Ja'Marr Chase. It goes back to the beginning of the year. He played without a contract.
Yeah.
That was our early talk on this show. Was Ja'Marr Chase, and then he goes out there and he leads the league in receiving touchdowns. He went absolutely nuclear. He should be the highest paid receiver this year, and I hope he gets every penny coming his way. He deserves it. That's my dog of the year, and I'm looking forward to see what he does next year with Joe Burr.
Okay.
Darian?
It's me, huh?
It's you.
I'm going to say this first of all.
I'm surprised you didn't say crepes, by the way, earlier.
Crepes? They're too thin. Like, nobody wants that.
If you eat crepes, you're not American.
That's probably true.
A man.
Or a man.
All right, so I'm gonna say this as a prereq. I'm not an Eagles fan. But the dog of the year, I'm gonna give you 5 of them. Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Mekhi Becton, who revived his career and moved out from a tackle, and everybody said he was washed, and moves into a guard and has a great season, and then Lane Johnson. Like, that unit right there doesn't get it. Even in this beautiful year that they've had, they've been able to block for a 2,000-yard rusher. They're going to the Super Bowl. They still don't get enough publicity or acknowledgement. So, naturally so, I'm going to go with the O-line. Those 5 guys are my dog of the year. And no, I'm not an Eagles fan. It's just facts.
Wow.
That's a good one, actually.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm proud of you. This is so tough. I mean, there's so many guys to pick from. This season was different. There's a lot of different moving pieces. You got Derrick Henry going to the Ravens. You got Saquon going to Philly. A lot of people balling out. But I have to do it. I'm going to have to go. As I know, as hard as the season ended, they were right there I truly think it was a first down still. I think you got to go Josh Allen. I think he got Josh Allen. I think what he did with what he was dealt was incredible. I believe he's the MVP this year. And, I mean, that dude's going to win a Super Bowl one day. I don't know when that's going to be, but he had an incredible year. I mean, his number one receiver was Shakir, right?
Yeah.
It went from Stephon Diggs to a guy who hadn't been proven yet. Obviously, Shakir, shout out to Shakir. He had a hell of a year. Cooper comes in, but Cooper hadn't been in the offense, so he's just learning along the way. But it was what he had, and to do what he did and won that many games, I don't think anybody saw that coming. So I'm going to go with Josh Allen. And there's another guy, another team, I'm just going to give a little honorable mention. Obviously, speaking of other dogs, Brock Bowers definitely belongs in this conversation. First team All-Pro as a rookie, unbelievable. We're going to have to go. Obviously, there's a lot of people that need to be mentioned. There's a lot of names, but number 1A honorable mention is going to have to be Adam Peters, Dan Quinn. What they did in Washington this year, one of the quickest turnarounds, NFL history. They win 2 playoff games, unheard of, with a rookie quarterback. Jane Daniels, Bobby Wagner, Frankie Louvu, all these guys deserve their praise as well. But the fact that they came in, changed the culture that quickly, brought in great players. They said, no, we got money. We're spending that money. We're trying to win. We're trying to do this shit right now. And to see how quickly they turned it around, you know, this is about players and things like that. Obviously, Josh Allen's my pick, but I have to mention and give some coaches and front office some love, because there's some dogs over there, because they didn't care about what it cost, what we had to do. They went all in on winning, and it paid off. So they got a bright future over there. Shout out Dan Quinn, Adam Peters with the Commanders.
Hell yeah.
We went a little long today, but I think we had a good conversation, and I enjoyed it.
Phenomenal.
I think this was a fun one. So that being said, bring us home, Wap.
Ladies and gentlemen, we love y'all. We appreciate you. You guys are tuning in like no other. We're going to have some incredible guests coming up soon. We got some vlogs coming up soon. Look out for more vlogs, and we need you to really tune in, because we want to have you guys behind the scenes and put you in our shoes and see the stuff that we're doing behind the scenes, because we do some incredible things. We're blessed, have the ability to travel, meet, and be around a lot of incredible, influential individuals. And we're just going to give you guys a behind the scenes. That's what we want to do. So we're going to be picking up the vlogs. We're going to do a ton of that. We're going to keep doing our show every single week, every Tuesday. So keep tuning in. But we're going to have some incredible guests coming up. It's going to be phenomenal off season. We're going to dominate from start to finish, like we always do. But we appreciate you guys tuning in. The fans, the Condor Cartel, everyone involved, liking, subscribing, commenting. Keep doing it. Keep hitting that subscribe button right below. Smack that thing. You guys are doing it. You guys are tuning in. I mean, last week's episode went crazy. Keep commenting. Keep talking about what do you guys want from us. We're all about feedback. We're coachable. We're football players. This is what we do. So I hope everyone is having an incredible start to your February. 2025, like we talked about in the beginning of the year, is going to be the best year yet. We are manifesting and we're talking about it, and so far it has been unbelievable. So we appreciate you guys. Keep tuning in. This is The Rush with your boy and my brothers. We got it.
Walk up in this bitch like, yeah, I'm really him.